Hey, how's it going, guys? We're here with RVEC Week 2, the Revolt Endurance Championship. And if you couldn't guess it, we're here on Game Room 2 for our next race. Now let's check out the standings. First things first, Week 1. Before I start, quick shout out to Kiki. Insane cover art. We've got some more to show off right here with the standings, also done by Kiki. Looks incredible. But yeah, hold on, let me get our stuff mixed properly. And we have our standings. Famous first place, 28 points. Now, before I go too much further, there's something to address, which is that we here at the RVEC are using the MotoGP point scoring system. 25 points for first, 20 for second, 16 for third, and so on down the list. But there is an added twist. If you get the first best lap in the race, which Famous did do on Supermarket 1 last week, you get 3 points additionally. If you get the second best lap, you get 2 extra points. And the third best lap, I almost said the worst best lap, but no, the third best lap gets 1 point. And so I believe it was Sting getting the second best lap, as you can see, and Ama getting 1 extra point with the third best lap. So, as we hop in, we will be hopping in shortly. The lobby, in fact, is open right now as I speak. But some additional, give me just a moment, I've got a little information here. Okay, we'll try that. Welcome chat, welcome chat. So, as I was saying, our lobby will be opening shortly. And I'm going to go ahead and boot. We've got a little password situation, so we're going to do our best with that. Chat popping off. Good to see y'all. I've got some insider information as well on Game Room 2 that may assist y'all. First things first. Game Room 2 is a bit more of a straightforward track. Expecting to see fewer wrecks even than normal, but especially fewer than last week. Let's try to log in here. Ah, it worked. Okay, interesting. But there's also bound to be a number of top contenders. As some people may know, this is Famous's best track, or favorite track rather. Supermarket 1 was last week, and so not a huge surprise to see him take that first, although Kiki held his feet to the fire the entire time, until the very end. But yeah, as for this week, let's try to hop over into the lobby. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we are here in the lobby, looking like a pretty full lobby. But as I was saying, I'm kind of getting jumbled around, but as I was saying, Game Room 2 has a lot of top contenders, people who really, really enjoy this track. Kiki, Frostbitten, Nick, G-Force, Kilobaris, Stingox, and Famous, all powerful racers on this track. Especially Kiki and Nick. So, additional information, Frostbitten won this track last year in last year's RVEC. So we'll see if he's able to defend that title, as I will remind perhaps people who did not see last year's RVC that it was back and forth between Frost and Famous, especially there at the beginning. And the fact that Frostbitten is not currently in that top 3 as we can check out the standings here as we have a moment. Frostbitten currently sitting in 5th place with only 11 points to his name. In fact, did not even get a best lap point. But last year's storyline basically was between Frost and Famous. So we'll see if we've got a new story or if it will be a continuation of the old. Famous winning Game Room 2 last year. Okay. Sorry for that. Now, if you are new, welcome in, Pokers. Great racing in the RVRL out of Pokers. Had a lot of almost firsts. Good luck in future weeks, of course, but we're here today with the RVEC. As people get ready, you'll notice that some players are already in the spectator position. Frost, Nick, G, Famous, and Kiki. And the reason for that is that these racers have already been guaranteed a spot in the race itself. The top 8 players from last year's RVEC are guaranteed a spot in every single race. And for the rest, they will have to qualify in order to make it into today's race. Now, the trick is, there's only 9 extras today. There are only 9 racing today extra, so there will only be one person who doesn't make it. Pokers, I wouldn't take that as an insult. I would not take that as an insult. The field is really crazy this year in the RVRL, and you already emerged as honestly one of the top racers on my radar. We'll see how you do next week. We've got pros, pickups on. In fact, a lot of the people in the chat are also in the RVRL. So general question there too. Is Keela in chat? Keela has not chatted, as far as I'm aware. Welcome in, Ducka Milka. Welcome in, Kiki. No Keelas to be found. No Keelas to be found. Wild Keela on the loose has not been spotted. Has not been spotted. Welcome in, Zyno. Okay, so like I was saying, for people who aren't familiar, we're going to have a qualifier for the top 8, and there are only 9 people in the lobby, so one unlucky person will not make it. And then we will have qualifiers to see who leads the race. Now that is decided by who gets the best lap out of a 5-minute session. So that will be up next, and then we will have the official race starting. So this race right here is only made up of people who are not already qualified for the event. So we've got Lampert, Laggy Rock, Powerade, Ama, Shigeki X, who had a super hot performance on Supermarket 1, all things considered, is against Giants here in the RVC. Nice start though. Ewan is in the lobby. Wurzel. ROG, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. So we are checking out the front of the field right now, but an important thing to keep in mind, we are towards lap 7, 8. We are going to be looking specifically at that 8th, 9th position, because that's the cutoff. One unlucky person not going to be making it in, not going to make the cut for today's endurance race. That person right now is Yun. As it stands, Ama had a big wreck. And Yun has dropped to 50 meters behind Wurzel in 8th. So as long as these drivers just race conservatively, they should have a pretty good degree of safety. Oni. Now that's a way I've never heard that name pronounced. I've heard Onage, I've heard One, but Oni is a new one. I just made that one up on the spot. One did wreck there early on in the U-turns, but still 60 meters. You know you've been playing too much Classic WoW when you call that name Oni. Shigeki seems to have had a bit of a wreck. Now we're about halfway through the track here, and Yun has been keeping things even. Doesn't seem like he's had any further wrecks, but he's definitely in the hot seat right now for this race. Keela making it in. Keela, there's a lot of people looking for you right now. There's a lot of people who are searching for you. It's been a manhunt for the past couple of minutes. Superstars show up late. Okay, we got One. And as you can tell from how the track is going so far, there are going to be a smaller number of wrecks. Which is making this especially hard for Yun to close the gap on what was a very early fall behind. And he has wrecked some more. Yun gives up, says GG no re. Maddie, I hate to hear that. Kilo with the ham smile. And that is Chile, Latino Americas. Yun with the GG no re on the play. Just saying. Just saying. Yun. That sucks. That really sucks. Definitely an F kind of memento. The Zyno cut. I'm unfamiliar with the Zyno cut. What is the Zyno cut? Did you... Okay, so qualifying starts at 19:15 UTC. So we are going to have a break until then. It is currently 3:07. So I'll go ahead and... I promise I'm not doing the math right now. I'm just trying to decide what we're gonna do. Hey, Macaco, welcome in. We'll go on a little bit of a break. A little bit longer than 3 minutes, so that is currently a lie. There we go. We'll be back shortly. Now, if you don't know what's going on, we have had our elimination, and when we come back, we will be witnessing the basically the next stage of qualifiers to determine who starts first all the way down to who starts 16th. That will be determined by who gets the best lap and who gets the worst best lap. So we'll be back with that at 19:15 UTC. Welcome in, BGM. Very good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. Going to be starting our next session of qualifiers here shortly. It was unfortunately Yun from Chile who was eliminated. Had some issues with the game while it was playing. Always unfortunate to see. Up next, we do have our next phase, as I mentioned. This will be determined by best lap. You're not going to be aiming to finish the race first. You're just going to be racing for 5 minutes. As long as you start your lap before 5 minutes starts, then it counts. You're able to finish the lap. Whoever gets the single best lap in the game will be starting our event in the first place position, the pole position. As far as what will lead to a best lap, I've heard that there is a wall bang in the ramp. That is very important. Anything below 37 is going to be a great lap. Oh, that was a misclick. We haven't started. And the starting line is a bit diagonal. So if someone's starting a lap on the right side, they might be going for a strong lap. Because again, if you didn't know, you do get 3 points for having the best lap in the race itself, during the endurance race. So we will actually have players as part of their strategy trying to get those 3 extra points here or there if they think they can. Now this is a starting line type thing, so you're gonna have to kind of gamble for it, I suppose. I'm checking out this Zyno cut right now. We're about to see it. I don't... Sorry, I'm not sure. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, sure, Zyno. We could definitely see people go for that. We definitely may see people going for that. I will mention it during the race. When the racers are approaching the Zyno cut, I will announce that is the Zyno cut and that they may go for it. We'll see if anybody goes for it. Are heading in shortly. Nick saying, I'm not ready, mentally. We did have a DC. We should be starting shortly once again the standings as we head into Game Room 2. Famous out in the lead by 8. Got 5 points for coming in first over Kiki from the MotoGP point scoring system, 25. And then got an additional 3 for the best lap, so 8 points ahead of the rest of the competition. A staggering start for Famous. Managing to grab second best lap. I stay ready. I stay ready. And we are headed in. Got a couple people starting their lap straight away, and in fact, that's going to be a pretty good situation for them. It's tough to not get cluttered here on the first lap, so it's actually a pretty good start to just go straight away. I don't know if they were positioned for the best lap already or not, but it's going to be a bit of a wall bang there. I think I skipped a little bit of the vent wall bang, so apologies for that. I'll try to catch it for y'all. And I think we'll watch them do a best lap. These are some of our big dogs here starting. They are going wide. Oh, this is that I suppose that would be at the end of the lap they would be going for that for the best lap. So we'll see if they do it. Now this is an important part. We'll see if they go for the Zyno skip. Sting trying maybe possibly a variant of the Zyno skip there. I'm not sure. But Frost is going to be going steady. And a 37.088. Now remember, we said anything below 37 is a great lap. So Frost already getting close. Kiki 0.2. 38 for Sting, but he wrecked. So he will be starting a new lap. 37.779 for Nick. 37.221 for Eritsu, not bad. And Famous, we'll see how he goes. He does not have a best lap to his name so far, except for 39. $37.171, not bad. 36.947 for Ama. The first sub 37 that I've seen so far. So Ama been blistering through this. Does have a wreck. Oh, just a little cast curse. Memento. Laggy Rock, who is known as a bit of a unique driver, as he usually does not really aim for best laps. So that does hurt him in a situation like this. He's got a 37.6, which is pretty good, but he prefers a much more consistent line. He is going to reduce his best lap time by a little bit there. Keela almost finding a sub 37, 37.096. G with 37.288. Powerade 37.355. Wurzel 37.8. We got Lampert 37.12. He is going to fail out of that lap though. We got 2 minutes left, a little bit less than 2 minutes left. Urak on a 37.8 as well. As we continue to flip through, 37.7 for One. Shigeki has been struggling. Frostbitten has still sitting on a 37.018. I think he improved his best lap time by about 0.070. Okay, he's taking it wide. So he is going to give up that lap. He's aiming for a best lap, it looks like. It looks like that is how you set up to go for a best lap, what we just saw. And this because it has a diagonal starting line. We'll see how he goes for it. We've got less than a minute left. He bails out in the U-turns. Kiki with a 36.899 wallbang in the ramp. Super wide or super tight on the side there. Even might have gotten a little bit of a wall ride to remove his time in the air. Going wide, gonna start a new lap. 4:31, we've got less than 30 seconds left to start their last laps. Wall bang for Kiki. Not going to go for any wall ride. And this is going to be their last chance here. It's looking super good. It is going to be a 37 though. 37 for Frost. 36.9 for Nick. Famous not able to find a sub 37. G not able to find a sub 37. Keela not able to. Ertsu still on 37.221. Lampert 37.064. And I do believe that is just about everyone. We've got Wurzel, who's still been sitting at 37.828, aiming for something better than that. He's not going to find it. Urak 37.499. Whoo! I agree, Zyna. Okay, so Ama, oh, we didn't see everyone. Right, Ama 36.947 still. So I do believe that is Kiki taking the best lap, closely followed by Nick. Possibly Nick already leaving, I think. Okay, so we can't see Nick's time, but it might have been worse than Ama's. I think it might be Kiki, Ama, Nick, and then like Frost, Famous, something like that. Actually, Lampert might be in there as well. And so we are going to take a little bit of time to get those best laps all calculated. Everybody set in their orders, and so be, do believe, a bit of a break, and we will be back at 19:30, so about 5 minutes here. So we might just go for a short break. Hello, hello, hello. I, for one, am back. Take another peek at the standings if you'd like. Rough race for Laggy Rock on Supermarket 1. Believe he had some issues with freezing as well. Kilo Bars with a nice 4th place. And Amma finding the best lap there on Supermarket 1, the 3rd best lap that is, and also possibly finding the 1st best lap of Game Room 2 in our qualifier. Okay. Got it, Prawnfoot. Coming up shortly is a graphic of our qualifier. There it is. So it is Kiki winning our best lap. That's right, with a 36.899. 48 milliseconds behind is Amma. 91 behind that is Nick in 3rd. Then we've got all of our sub 38s, we can say. 37.010 for Keela. 6 milliseconds behind Frost in 5th. One not last. Most excellent. Shigeki finding a best lap, much better than the one that we had when we checked in on him, making his way into 12th. G-Force out in 10th. And Laggy Rock, as we mentioned, in 13th. Does not typically go for those best laps. No surprise to see you there. We'll see if his consistency can get him a dub. Now, I will say, Game Room 2 should be a more consistent track for a lot of these racers, so consistency, a secret weapon of Laggy Rocks, might not come so much into handy here if the field is generally pretty consistent. We'll see if that's true or not, because we did see possibly some nerves coming out in our qualifier. Now that may be because they were going for best lap. And questions are being asked if we're ready. So I'm going to announce go, but I'm going to do so once Frostbitten gives me the go-ahead this time. That was my bad in Supermarket 1 last week, but we've got it this week. Let's get some of this going. All right. Our races are getting in a line, waiting for Frost to give me the go-ahead. Okay. It is going to be Kiki in our lead with our initial best lap. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it. Nothing crazy going on here so far, but I can imagine there might have been some stuff happening a bit further back. It looks like nothing. Everybody's staying directly in a line. All of them. Okay. So we'll continue. Kiki and Ama keeping it close. Now Kiki goes for that bump. Ama going for something a bit different. A bit of an earlier bump with some speed control. Welcome in, Kippy. Okay. As predicted, this has been a very clean race so far. No major issues. Of course, this is the front field, but first, second, third continues to be the same as they started. You can see Kiki on that wall bang. Nick and Keela trying to find a pass. Famous nearby. Oh. Oh, and Nick on the bar stool. Famous nearby. Frost in fifth. Okay, Nick, it wasn't too much. It definitely was not a meltdown. He's still holding on to sixth. Lampert nearby, and these racers have been keeping it single file for 5 laps straight. Look at them. I mean, this is like a real ass race, like you would see in real life. A couple people have different interpretations of how to do that ramp. Looks like Nick and Kiki both going for a wall bang. And we see a couple of micro adjustments. Famous and Keela have gotten closer together. Lampert and Nick maybe a little bit closer. Oh, Nick going on the inside for sure there. Keela has to flip. Gonna lose a lot of positions in the blink of an eye. Big moment. Pit stops would be insane. Pit stops would be so sick. Interchangeable weather would be as well. An example would be the reverse version of Tropic Raceway being rainy, but the battle for third continues, and Nick seems to gain so much time headed into the U-turns, but he can't go for the wall bang because of the positioning of Frost. So he has to slow down there and give up a lot of the time that he earned. Now let's check out first and second. Still, Kiki, Ama neck and neck. Just about at the same exact positions that they started in a couple of laps ago, about 7 laps ago. Okay. Famous Frost and Nick and Lampert as well for third. Keela 15 meters back after that flip that he had to do. So while they do this line, oh, I don't know. It's hard to look away from Frost and Nick. They're really close to each other at this point. And we've got the U-turn section going up. This is a pretty big spot for them, so we'll see how that goes. Nick just can't seem to get around him. He does go wide on the wall bang as well. Okay. Keela, Ertzu, G, Sting in 10th. Bit of a gap, 50 meters. Power 8, Laggy Rock, and One neck and neck for 12th. Shigeki X in 14th. Got a bit of a lead on Urak. And Wurzel, they're in 16th for the time being. Kiki, Ama back to first. They've got a 30 to 40 meter lead on this 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grouping. In the meantime, Ama is keeping it extremely close to Kiki despite not going for that wall bang. That does help with getting those best lap times. Ama actually has a better best lap time than Kiki by 4 milliseconds so far. Okay. And Nick has fallen out here. We missed it. It's now Famous and Frost for 3rd, 4th. Nick and then Keela in 5th. Or I'm sorry, in 6th. Slipstream would be sick as well. Nick struggling here. Seems like he broke his stride. We'll see if he's able to get it back. He does go for that best lap strategy kind of deal with the wall bang. We'll see what he's able to regain here, but he's currently sitting in 7th, being challenged by Lampert. So it looks like Lampert fell back 2 positions as well behind Keela Barris and Ertzu. Let's check out the front field as we've got Frost and Famous. Famous gets caught in the first U-turn, and Frost is going to be able to get the easy pass. Ama and Kiki neck and neck still. A game of cat and mouse between the two of them. And if Slipstream existed, Ama would have definitely had something to say about this, but as it stands. Yeah, while we have a moment, let's see. We've got a bit further back again, Wurzel, Urak, Shigeki X, trying to make his way to catch One, and One has fallen back behind Laggy Rock. Laggy Rock has managed to break away from this. 11th is Power 8. 10th is G. Now I'm going to do a quick flip back up towards the front. Oh, actually, no, we've got a bit of a race on our hands for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Nick leading that. We can watch that for a moment. But I do think it would be best to keep our eyes on that duel between Ama and Kiki, because it has been so tight, and I feel like something's got to break on it pretty soon. So we'll see this U-turn, and then we'll flip up to that duel, see if it's still going on. Nick. Okay. Trying to catch Keela. And he's been doing some good work. So Famous falling back behind Frost a bit. And Ama and Kiki, the duel to watch. Haven't been any wrecks from either of them. Ama has at times looked like he had the pace advantage on Kiki, but hasn't been able to find a window at any point. Kiki has found a new best lap of 37.169, just barely faster than Ama. Was about 6 milliseconds behind Ama, now is about 3 milliseconds ahead, so. Yeah, Laggy and Sting struggling right now. Now, Laggy Rock started pretty far. He started in 13th to begin with. So he's definitely had some work to do, but Sting has had an unfortunate race so far. He's currently sitting in 3rd place overall. So this is definitely good news for the other racers to see him back down there for the moment. Sting, oh, well, actually, I'll say it looked like Ama gained a lot there in the U-turn section, especially that first U-turn. Kiki kind of straightening it back out with the door skip, or I'm sorry, the wall bang skip. It's like on a door. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I can't tell. I suppose it gains like maybe a couple milliseconds. I guess it could work. But as we saw, it does take a degree of precision. As Nick, we saw him once take that wall bang a bit wide. But they continue on, and they're 30 meters ahead of Frost, which is basically the exact same spot that they've been in. And a first place finish would be great for Kiki. It was hypothesized that Kiki could get a dub here. It was not hypothesized that Ama would. So Ama in that second place, regardless of if he can pass Kiki or not, if he can lock down a second place, that would be very nice for Ama. He's also aiming to get best lap points from the looks of things. He's got some blistering fast best laps. As we go back a bit, let's watch this one more U-turn and then we will flip backfield a bit. Okay. And that situation continues. Frost, Famous, third, fourth, 30 meters back, 40 meters back is Kilabaris. Frost and Famous, we talked about this storyline. This was the main story of RVEC last season, last year. So to see both of them still battling it out is one thing. It's interesting to see for sure, but also important to note they're not battling for first. They're battling for third right now. So some new contenders on the field who have clearly been upping their game. Famous on the inside as Frost goes for, I think that was a bit of a wall bang, but Famous going to take advantage of that and go on the inside and passes Frost up. One of the few passes that we've seen so far. It's mostly been minor wrecks that have caused people to fall back. But that was a bona fide pass by Famous. We've got Nick trying to chase down Kilabaris out in 6th place. Ertzu in 7th. Sting has put in some work from the looks of things. He is now close behind Ertzu, battling for 7th. Lampert in 9th. And let's head back towards the front. Ama! Ooh, and a wreck from Ama from the looks of things that we just missed. And now Ama has not only fallen about 30 meters behind Kiki, but he's also in the clasp of Famous, within his clutches. Maddie, interesting point. It could be the case. They have been such brutal opponents through and through, really putting everyone else to the test. Famous going for a huge, massive pass, but he doesn't find it. He gets passed up by both Frost and Ama. Frost takes advantage of the situation, just like Famous did a couple laps back, and takes it all back. I will say that overtake by Famous was a bit different from the overtake by Frost. Let it be known, but Frostbitten finding 2nd place, trying to regain the control that he had over the field in the previous RVEC. He's gonna have to do more than just this though if he hopes to do that, because Ama and Famous, while he may have passed them, he's definitely not escaped them. Welcome in Quack Agenda. Nice. Okay, and we see Kiki. Very comfortable lead. Is just one catastrophic error away, but as we've seen, this track does not exactly lend itself to the most catastrophic of errors, as some tracks tend to do. Frost, Ama, Famous locked into the battle for 2nd. Still, Kila, Nick, Sting has passed up Ertzu in the meantime. And Stingox is actually a Hummer driver. Has stayed true to the Hummer for like a decade, maybe more. I don't know the exact lore on that. But he has recently, in the past year, maybe a little bit more than a year, begun driving on that Toyota. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Now, 7th place, definitely not what he's aiming for, but keep in mind, this is a cutthroat lobby, probably the most cutthroat you'll be able to find for an endurance race, even if you tried. Ertzu, Lampert, Power 8, G, Laggy Rock, One is getting accosted by Shigeki X here, and Yurak not out of it yet. Wurzel is 100 meters back there in 16th, but it's about the same position he was in last time. Definitely recoverable. It does look like in the meantime that might just be the U-turn section, but Kiki, we'll see, might have lost just a bit of ground against Frost. Nothing too major, maybe just a bit, maybe just my eyes playing tricks on me. Ama and Frost locked in. Famous waiting nearby. Duck, welcome. As you can see, we're locked into an RVC EC race right now where Frost and Famous are not the top two. Definitely something to be said. Kiki has wrecked, possibly on the wall bang that it seems like only him and Nick are going for. It does seem like he has had a wreck. Wurzel is caught up in this. He is going to go wide and allow the rest of the field to pass as he is currently getting lapped. We've got Frost and Ama neck and neck still. Famous nearby. Roddick, good to see you. Good to see you. The pink rotor has returned. Now this is a very precarious position for a lot of these racers. If they go locked into this ramp, we've seen it have some very poor consequences. They are gonna avoid it for now. Cheers, buddy. Kiki, Frost, Ama, it continues. Let's see the best laps. 36, sub 37 for Kiki, an incredible lap, 36.972, great stuff out of Kiki. 37.043, not bad for Frost either. Ama just a bit behind that with a 37.076. So a reminder, 3 points for getting the best lap in this race. 2 points for second best, 1 point for third best. Exactly, lap 28 of 72. We have definitely made our way through. In fact, these 30 or so laps have flown by. And it's really interesting because there haven't been that many wrecks, there haven't been that many passes. It's kind of like, well, Americans call it soccer, but football, where they just get that one score, and it makes it that much more impactful as we see Kiki still holding on, but Frost and Ama like two sharks who smell blood in the water. Famous trying to get a bit of the action as well. This could easily be a first place finish for any of these racers, of course. So many laps left to go and so little space between them. In the meantime, 50 meters back is Kilabaris. Good to see you, Dodolicious. Now let's check out this U-turn into ramp, then we'll go backfield a little. I don't think we can do that. I really don't think we can do that. I think we just gotta watch this top four. We'll have plenty of time to check out the rest of the action, but let's give this top four battle the attention that it deserves. That U-turn. Famous. Oh yeah, putting the pressure on Ama, and Ama buckles. Now Ama's not going to fall back behind Kilabaris. He did have a bit of a cushion there. He's still going to be sitting in fourth, but he does fall out of that. And now Frost applying the pressure to Kiki alone. Famous still nearby. What does F3 do? Oh, and look at this. It's not only Keela nearby Ama, but also Nick. He has been doing some serious recovery. Agree, insane pressure on Kiki. We've seen racers like Frost and Famous definitely survive well under pressure. We'll see if Kiki's able to do the same. Has really, really been proving himself as one of Revolt's top racers. It was a question that might have been in the air, up in the air previously, but lately he has been dominating the competition. Got a second place finish on Supermarket 1, if my memory serves me right in this moment. Yeah, Kilobaris did get a Toyeka skin. Indeed. Agree, Mew Mew. Important question, Maddie. And since we're talking about him so much in the chat, it only makes sense to continue watching this. We checked in on Ama, Kila, and Nick. Now it's time to tune back in to a story as old as time, Frost versus Famous, who I will mention, it looks like Famous has done well to catch Frost, and Frost might have fallen back a bit behind Kiki, easing up on the pressure ever so slightly. Thank you, Duck. Yes, I wasn't sure if I remembered that correctly or not, but yes, Frost and Famous won every single race in the previous RVEC. Every single one. Frost, out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere, too far on the inside on that ramp, and he is going to fall back drastically. 15, 20 meters is Famous behind Kiki. Ama barely ahead of Frost. He has been gifted this third place due to a wreck by Frost, but it looks like Frost is pretty intent on taking it back. It would appear that way. He's quite aggressive here, maybe over-calculating into that U-turn just a bit. He does have to ease up off of Ama just a little bit after that. Oh, Duck, and Frost and Famous might have even won every single race in Season 2 as well. That's just insanity. I was actually in Season 1 when it was Super Pros, if I remember correctly. That was super fun. Okay, and I do believe we've got still about the same distance for Famous and Kiki. We got Frost and Kila. Now, did I just miss something? I flip away for 2 milliseconds, and I think I missed a minor wreck from Ama that allowed Kilobaris to pass, unless I'm losing my mind. I do think that might have been a pass right there in that millisecond. Ama. Ooh, Ama, insane approach on Kila, bumping him in and out of the way, and says, thank you very much, I will be taking fourth, get out of my way, goodbye. Of course, Kilobaris not letting him walk out of this that easily, but that was insane, sudden, intense pressure out of Ama, pushing Kila out of the way, saying, this is my line, thank you very much. The bump and run. Woo! And Ama's near does lose 3 in the blink of an eye. Too greedy, just a bit too greedy on the turn, and he saw Frost. He saw Frost so close to him. And suddenly, he's in 7th. Is going to be trying to battle Sting. I think he's got the pace advantage here on Sting. His best lap is about 100 milliseconds faster. We've got Nick, who has snuck his way into 5th place. Was way back there. And earlier on in the track was actually up contesting podium, I do believe. But he has made great recovery efforts. It is still Kila and Frost, 3rd, 4th. And Famous Kiki 15 meters between. Now, while we have a bit of a lull, 150 meters between Wurzel and Shigeki. Shigeki, I think, fell behind Yurak right there. We might have seen Yurak actually pass Shigeki last time we tuned into the backfield. One having some issues on the U-turn, but he's all right. Laggy Rock not able to find too much. It looks like at this point he's mostly going to be defending that 12th place. G trying to put in some work. G has been a top contestant in a lot of competitive formats, endurance being one of them. He might prefer the La Raza. I remember him racing in that with the Super Pros, which apparently that was an RVEC. My bad on that one, but still, he puts in work on the Toyota too, so it is surprising to see him back here in 11th. Now Air2 in 9th has been passed up by Powerade. Actually, Powerade, who has been quiet, but he's been finding some work here. Ama still behind Sting. Ooh, intense battle for 4th or 5th. Getting Yurak way out of the way there. Keela, Nick, Sting, Ama. All right, so again, hard pressed to decide what we're gonna watch. If we're gonna watch the battle for, I think 4th it is right here, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, or if we want to watch 1st, 2nd. I'm on the pass, tries to do it, not able to do it. Continuing to pressure Sting, but I think we've got to watch that 1st, 2nd. I think we have to. So that's what we're gonna go do right now. Oh my, okay, so Kiki has been passed by Famous. Should have tuned in a little earlier, but Kiki has been keeping it quite close. So just because Famous got the pass, this is definitely not the end of this duel. Going to continue to challenge Kiki. Yeah, Ama trying to do some Kung Fu style driving, but not quite able to execute on it. Lap 45 of 72. Continues to be neck and neck. Have any of these positions changed? Frost, Keela, Nick, Ama passing up Sting. Okay. A little update on them and back to this 1st, 2nd. Does look like Kiki has fallen back a little bit. Maybe nothing too major. We'll see how the U-turns go. Okay, and Famous is looking quite good. 36.895 for Kiki, 36.910 for Famous as far as best laps go. So Kiki is aiming to get those 3 points. Frost chilling, Frost being chilling. We got Nick in 5th, very close to Keela. Ama still got the lead over Sting. We'll see how close it is exactly. Sting has wrecked. 40 meters for Sting. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Keela, Nick, Ama, 4th, 5th, 6th. Less than 10 meters between all 3 of them. They continue. Ama trying to get in the mix here. He's been so quick on the U-turns. Oh, kicking Nick straight out of 5th. Ama has been driving with a ferocity. And guess what? Frost is nearby them as well. Frost is only 25 meters ahead of them. In the meantime, Kiki has closed the gap on Famous for first. Fam continuing to hold the lead, continuing the tradition of only dubs by Famous and Frost. Kiki now the role of contender as they approach lap 50 of 72. Got a little bit of time left to work with. Definitely enough time to pass based on pace. But does Kiki have it? All right, prediction by Mew Mew. And they're approaching 100 meters ahead of Frost. So they've got first and second looking good regardless. You know, even if Kiki can't find the pass, another second place by Kiki would be great. But another first place by Famous, as he did win Supermarket 1, that would continue to make separation between the two of them. Question is Kiki satisfied with the second? Are we going to see some pushing? We'll have to check back in, as we do have another battle on our hands. It is Keela, Ama, Nick. And Sting 30 meters behind that. Oh, Ama on the U-turns. Ama has been looking so good on these U-turns, has been looking to gain so much each U-turn. But this time is going to take the cut a bit early, and Sting going to be putting the pressure back on Ama. I do think Ama has that pace advantage, and Keela knocking with the railing. Ooh, it will catch ya. It will catch ya. Lap 52, fatigue setting in, and Keela has been caught. It is Nick merging into fourth. They are a bit of a ways back behind Frost at this point. There was a time that they had him in vision of them. That time is not right now. Indeed, Duck. Ama could be going for the risk. And I remember that. The finish here was insane. I think it was Sting, possibly, who was challenging there for second. But this year, it is Kiki in the hot seat. Not to be confused with the Polish esports organization. Okay, let's continue to flip. We've got Nick, Keela. So Keela has held on to fifth despite that wreck. Sting versus Frost for first. Right. But this time around, Sting falling back against Ama. He's just not able to find that pace. He's sitting in 7th place. The tables have turned. Powerade still in that 8th place. Passed after the pass on Ertzu. Lampert in 10th. G still in 11th, but could potentially be challenging Lampert for 10th. Laggy Rock, good ways ahead of One. And in the backfield, things looking pretty separated. So we continue. 25 meters between Kiki, Famous. Okay. Lap 55. Ama Nick and Sting. And we've seen Nick and Kiki going for the wall bangs on the ramp. I'm vibing as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super vibing right now to this track. But we see this wall bang that Nick goes for. It's a unique deal. Only him and Kiki seem to be going for it. I would assume it gets an advantage, but doesn't seem to keep Ama at bay. Ama continues to keep Nick in that striking range. Sting. Oh, on Keela. Now, I must have missed something. So we now have Keela in 7th. Sting. He's not done yet. He could potentially end this in 4th, which would be not bad at all. Ama just looks very good on that ramp. I guess, yeah, Nick is continuing to keep him at arm's length, but still. Now let's check out the front here. We got Kiki versus Famous still. Oh, Kiki on the outside. Managing to hold on. Indeed, 24 laps left. Time is running out. Time is running out. Famous is keeping Kiki nearby. Kiki finished in 2nd. Kiki got 20 points. Kiki was actually quite close to Famous, and Supermarket 1 is Famous's favorite track. And he was keeping it really close. I'm not gonna lie, Maddie, when I said 24, the number did feel a bit off. It got both of us. Yeah, so approaching that 10 lap point. Actually, Wurzel gonna be getting out of the way, and Sting is 80 meters back now, and Keela has not passed, and Powerade is nearby. Powerade aiming for 6th. Powerade angling. Can he find it? Ooh, that will be a race to keep track of as Keela wrecks Powerade, pushing him way out of the way, but can he hold on through the U-turn? Goes for the bang, and Keela on the inside takes the pass back. Okay, I really want to stay on this one, but I think we got to go back towards our first second. We'll see how they handle that. Powerade on the pass. Keela going on the wide on the outside. Okay, Ama and Nick still close behind. Frost in view. And poor Keela has definitely been feeling the pressure. Kiki, in the meantime, still keeping Famous's feet to the fire. This has started to fall apart for some of these racers. Frost over 100 meters behind this top 2. And Frost, I think, got a 5th place finish on Supermarket 1. So this is actually going to be Famous continuing to fall back a bit behind. 3rd place, nothing to scoff at, of course. But will he actually take 3rd? It's not set in stone yet. I do believe around this part a couple laps ago, we were around 15 meters. Kiki was behind Famous, so might be a bit of a pace advantage for Kiki. And I have a feeling we're going to be wanting to watch this race in the final laps. So I will get an update in that fight for 4th and 5th, as well as 6th and 7th. So we can give a lot of time to 1st, 2nd at the end if it continues like this. Frost only 10 meters ahead of Nick. Ooh. And Ama is right behind as well. Frost could potentially be falling back to 5th. He's got to stay tuned in, got to stay focused. Will Famous snap before the end? The question we're all thinking. We're all wondering. And I'm curious to see if when Nick goes for that wall bang, if Ama is close enough, I'm curious to see if we'll see him take it on the inside and just send it. Now, we do have another battle on our hands. But Keela in 11th. Oh no, Lampert battling with G now for 9th, 10th. Very close battle between the two of them as well. Power8 sitting in a nice, comfortable 7th place. Sting has been making some wrecks, so it could be possible that Power8 could catch that there. Nick, Ama, Frost for 3rd. It continues. Shout out to chat. Lap 66 of 72. Time is running out. Pressure is definitely going to be building. Nerves going to be heightening. We'll watch this U-turn as Ama might try to do something here on the wall bang. Is he going to go for the inside? Whoa, almost. Okay. Now, if Ama went for something and they wrecked both of them, that would be incredibly good for Frost. Kiki has fallen out a bit, about 15 meters. Oh, tough situation. Oh, Famous is wrecked out of nowhere in a spot that we have not seen really anybody wreck. And Famous bringing the fight right back to Kiki here on lap 67. Oh my. Game on. All right, quick check on backfield while we have the time. Frost, Nick, Ama, it continues. Power8 and Sting. Okay, back to them. We will see, Maddie. Eurobeat stops. Oh, Kiki trying to send it. He's not good for. Oh, he's going all in against Famous, and he gets the short end of that battle. Okay, Kiki really risking it all. He does lose out a bit, and he's going to be feeling a lot of pressure here as the laps continue to dwindle down. A quick check on our other racers. Frostbitten, Ama, Nick, it continues. Power8 not challenging Sting quite yet, and through the U-turns we go. We've got our eyes on first place, Famous. Kiki nearby, but not where he previously was. Maddie's saying he should have waited a few laps, possibly. Maybe he just thought this is his chance. But it's not over yet. We've seen Famous wreck on his own accord here in previous laps. Ooh, Kiki looked like he was on the outside, but he just barely finds it. Now, tensions are going to be building for that battle for 3rd as well, so let's check in on that after this U-turn and vent section. Ama is now our 3rd place. He just briefly gets tossed out of the way by Frost. Nick waiting to swoop in like a vulture. No offense. Okay, we're on our final laps here. Let's see Kiki and Famous. And hard to decide who to check in on. I think we gotta do it. Ama and Frost. Frost bumping Ama big time. He gets right back into 3rd. Oh, this battle is not cooling off even a bit, and Nick is hoping to gain from that. Okay, we'll check back in at the U-turn. Actually, let's check in right now. Kiki, Famous. The battle to watch, 20 meters between them as they head into U-turns. Will Famous make an accident? Keela out of nowhere serving as lap traffic, and he doesn't want to let anything go. Urak doesn't either. Will Famous get caught up in lap traffic here? Oh my. Oh, he's trying to get around Keela. Frost still out in 3rd here. And it does look like the finish for Famous unless something... Okay. And Nick has passed up Ama in the final turns. Ama trying to take it back. He can't do it. Power 8 in 6th, Sting 7th, Air 2 8th, G 9th. And it's looking like smooth sailing for pretty much everyone else. Okay. Kiki giving it every single thing that he had, but the overtake attempt on around lap 69 just not able to make it happen. Keela not able to do any damage control, not able to pass up Lampert for 10th. Shout out to Duck. We got a 5-hour race control investigation into everyone getting a penalty. One taking it safe here on his final lap. Shout out to Mew Mew. Indeed. Whew, that was an insane race. I know Kiki's got to be pulling his hair out that he couldn't pass you out Famous, but man, what a battle it was. And that was one of our closest finishes for someone other than Frost or Famous taking that first place. We haven't seen it in 2 seasons, I do believe, as Duck pointed out. It's been Famous and Frost winning everything. We've got 2 wins coming out of Frost so far. Kiki, so close, was close on Supermarket 1 as well, taking his second place, we can say. And Nick able to do some insane recovery work. Frost holding on to 3rd, continues to fall behind Famous in that battle. Ama in 5th. Ama, we thought Ama might find 2nd for a while, maybe even 1st. He does end up in 5th by the end. Power 8 recovering in a great way. Stingox, who was in a super mega intense race with Frost last year, falling back to 7th this year, not able to find the same performance, but he did do some recovery work of his own. G found a couple positions, making his way into 9th. And Keela Barris, unfortunate race for him. We thought he could find podium, falls all the way back to 11th by the end of the race. And Lagirok, One, Urak, Shigeki X, Wurzel not able to find footing in the race. So that is going to conclude us here on Game Room 2. Good to have everybody in the chat. Good to have y'all here. We'll be coming back with the RVEC next week, same time. Does anybody in the chat know what track we're going to be to? Not sure. R6 could not make it. He's got a busy schedule. I tried to get Toyeka, but he said people, were using him. So, and apparently they were. Everybody brought out the Toyeka for this race. Maybe see some Hummas and Cougars in the future. I don't know. Good night indeed to our viewers, to our racers. Glad y'all enjoyed. Castle 2 is next, so that will be an interesting race to watch for sure. Again, we've got our standings from last week right here. It was headed into Game Room 2. It was Famous with 28 points. He is going to be taking 25 more points, and in fact, if we could check out best lap times, although I'm not sure. I think most of the people left. No, I think it will be Kiki taking best lap with a 36.895, unless someone beat that. 36.910 for Famous, so he'll probably be taking 2 extra points for best lap. We're going to see Stingox falling down the positions, Frost moving up, Keela falling down. Makakowski not able to make it for this race, it seems. And yeah, so thank you to everybody. That concludes our coverage of RVEC for this week. Check out Wednesday, 18 UTC, Division 3 of RVEC. Friday, 19 UTC, RVRL for both of those, RVRL Division 2. Saturday, 19 UTC, RVRL Division 1, and then back on Sunday, RVEC at about 1850, 19, you can just say, UTC. And yeah, shout outs to Power 8, insane recovery work. Not RVEC Division 3, there are no divisions for RVC, we just have the one race every Sunday, so if you love endurance action, be sure to be here every Sunday around 19 UTC. And we'll see you next time. We will be waiting for we'll be waiting for the penalties first. So we'll just hold on for about 5 hours. Stream going for about 5 hours longer, and then we'll get the final results in for y'all. Just kidding. We might have the infographic getting updated for this week, although I'm not sure because that was a tough loss for not a tough loss, but tough second place for Kiki. So I think we're gonna shelf that for now. We'll have the standings updated next week. Always good to have you, Duck. Always good to have you, Kippy, Pokers, Rod, Mew Mew, Dodo, Delicious. We had Robden from the RVA community. I'm sorry, the ARM community joining us. Welcome in, Robden. Sissio's Soul Challenger sometimes. Steve Scamp, Zyno, Maddie. We'll see y'all later. Cheers.